With substance abuse often comes consequences through the court system. Here to discuss some of the legal consequences, both positive and negative, from the court system is our very own Fred S. HECKER, Administrative Judge for the Carroll County Circuit Court. Hello, Judge HECKER.
Hi, Tim. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Thank you for coming out. I know you lead a very busy day. I do know that addiction and substance use disorders is near and dear to your heart, and you have a passion for helping people, even through the role that you have as a judge. First question I was going to ask is, how long have you been a circuit court judge?
Tim, I've been a circuit court judge for just a little over 8 years. I was appointed in 2013 at the end of the year and sworn in early in 2014, so starting into my 9th year now.
So as a circuit court judge, what are some of the responsibilities of being a judge? And I know that you oversee the drug court program in Carroll County, but what are some of the other things you do as a judge?
Sure. Well, circuit courts are courts of what we call general jurisdiction. So we have jurisdiction to try and hear virtually any type of matter that might come before court, both civil and criminal. So in any given week or month, I'll hear a variety of criminal cases, a variety of civil cases, family law cases, guardianship cases, divorce, custody, negligence cases, and of course, all jury trials in Maryland are conducted in the circuit courts, so the circuit courts preside over jury trials, and that keeps us plenty busy. And you probably know that we've not been doing jury trials for a bit because of COVID, and we'll resume those on March 7th. So in addition to my duties as the drug treatment court judge, I have a regular docket, as do my colleagues.
Speaking of drug treatment court, can you tell us a little bit about how that works and kind of how you got involved in that?
Sure. Well, let me answer the second question first. I got involved in it when Judge Galloway, who had been the judge who ran drug treatment court in Carroll County since its inception, retired. And I was fortunate enough to come onto the bench at about that time, just before Judge Galloway's retirement, and I was asked to take over drug treatment court, and happy for the opportunity to do it. Drug treatment court is a voluntary program. Many people probably don't realize that, but we never require anyone to enter drug treatment court. It's a decision that an individual defendant will make in consultation, usually with his or her attorney. Drug treatment court is, I like to describe it as a court-supervised treatment program. It's a difficult program, as you probably know. It demands a lot of people. It takes time out of a person's life, their home, their family, their work life, and they have to make a commitment to drug treatment court for at least 13 months. That's the minimum period of time that someone can successfully complete drug treatment court. I can go on with some more details if you like, but in addition to it being a voluntary program, we do have certain criteria. Not everybody is eligible for drug treatment court. We only have an adult drug treatment court in Carroll County, so we do not have a juvenile drug treatment court. So an individual must be at least 18 years of age. An individual must be a resident of Carroll County. An individual must not have been convicted of a crime of violence, must not be a dealer for profit, and must not be a convicted sex offender, and they have to be clinically recommended for drug treatment court. So if they meet those criteria, then our drug treatment court team screens applicants and then makes a recommendation, and then ultimately, as the drug treatment court judge, I'll make a final decision on that if there is a dispute about whether somebody should be admitted. And that's how somebody gets into drug treatment court, and they generally do that when they're faced with criminal charges. and they're awaiting their trial date or a plea. And as a condition of avoiding some other consequence, since that's our topic for this evening, they agreed to enter drug treatment court to try to make changes in their life.
Yeah, drug treatment court can definitely be one of the positive outcomes, as I've seen many people graduate and do well, like one of our guests tonight.
Exactly.
And so that is one of the positive outcomes. Through the years, both on the bench and when you were an attorney, have you noticed a difference in the way that the court system handles people that have substance use disorders?
Well, I practiced law for 26 years before I became a judge, and as a lawyer, I did a lot of criminal defense work, and I have seen a shift in the way that courts have approached criminal conduct, and specifically criminal conduct that is precipitated by some sort of substance use disorder. Many years ago, the thinking was that incarceration was probably the best way to respond to criminal activity that was committed, even if it was the product of substance abuse. The shift, however, has over the years and certainly now is toward trying to rehabilitate individuals, change their behavior, try to avoid future criminal conduct by taking a much more treatment-oriented approach than a punitive approach. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've seen that not just in Carroll County, but statewide and probably nationwide.
Yeah. It's really good that the court system is looking at it that way, because a lot of people, in my opinion, have a substance use disorder. That's what gets them in the court system to begin with. Yeah. And
well,
one of the things...
80% or more of all crimes are committed by someone with a substance use disorder of some sort, yeah. Right? So when you have numbers that high, and they're probably higher than that, then you have to address the root cause, right? If you don't, you're going to continue to see the same individuals committing crimes over and over again.
One of the things in our county, and I'm not sure if it's in other counties, but the way that we allow people to go to treatment in the custody of the sheriff's department, and I've seen that have both negative, and positive, outcomes from that. Do you do that very often? Like, is that something that comes across that you see?
So what I think what most judges try to do in those situations is to strike a balance between incarcerating someone, perhaps for a period of time, and then giving them the opportunity to get into treatment while they're in what we call the constructive custody of the sheriff. So for your audience, so that they understand what we're talking about, this is a situation where an individual is sentenced to a period of incarceration, generally at the Carroll County Detention Center, so it would be for a period of 18 months or less. And let's say I've given them an 18-month sentence, but after they've served 6 months, I allow them to go into a residential treatment program, and they are in what we call the constructive custody of the sheriff. So if they left that program, it would be just as if they had escaped from the jail.
Yeah.
Right? And so it gives them an opportunity to demonstrate to the court their responsibility, their accountability, to show that they're willing that the court can trust them.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate all that you do. I've worked with you in drug court, and I was on the staff. I'm not anymore, but I work with you closely.
We would take you back anytime.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
But I know you have many responsibilities.
Yeah. And you have a passion, and you have a big heart, and I appreciate you, and thank you for coming out and sharing with us today.
You're welcome.
Jail is not always the answer when it comes to crimes related to substance use disorders. As you heard today, sometimes drug court or pretrial monitoring can be a better fit in the long run for our community as a whole.